Fabulous. Thanks for jumping back so quickly. If you were the reporter, will you let us know in the chat how many siblings that you have? That'll be a good reminder for me to know who I'm going to. That will be helpful. Okay. And will you help me pronounce your first name, please? Is it pronounced Meyer?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, perfect. I think you gave a helping hand on the last name on the
Yeah,
inventory, which will be helpful for me. Perfect.
yeah.
All right. People have about It looks like everybody's back. Fabulous. Meyer, why don't you get us started? What did your team agree on in terms of order? Can you also add it into the chat
Yep.
in
Our
terms of
team.
letters?
Yep. Our team agreed on A, D, B, C.
Okay, fabulous. Did it seem like it was something that was easy to agree to? Did it seem like you had to do much negotiation? Did it seem like people kind of felt, tell us a little bit more about that process from your group.
I think we took turn kind of talking about what our preferences were, and then I kind of just summarized everything and said, okay, majority of us agree that A is first, and then D seems to be the second one, and so on.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Room two. Who's the reporter from two, and how many siblings do you have?
Uh, Room twins are room, right?
Yeah.
That's yes. So
Okay.
Chanley, Luke, and Sharia.
Yes. Room two. But so how many siblings do I have? I have eight siblings.
Fabulous.
Yes. So I won. Now I have to present. So as we are discussing the choices, and at first because we only kind of like was the waiting for team member to get in, and then we all kind of go with A because target language, because that's what we thought, that's the language that we taught. But once Chan got in, and she kind of explained her choices, so we thought that yes, if we limit to choice A or B, then that means we have to specifically go to those countries, those places that we have same family. But if we want to try new food, then we can go in any other place. So we change our choices to one is a C, and then two is D, and then three for B, and four for A. So that's how we come up with the different choices.
That's
So we want to try
fabulous.
new thing.
Thank you. Will you enter it in the chat too, so we can just take a quick comparison
Sure.
from what Meyer had shared? I'll be curious to know how they compare in terms of their rank. Fabulous. So interestingly, D is both for D and B are in the same locations. That's super curious. Awesome. Fun to kind of see how that comes about as a group. And again, these are activities, these are ideas that you can do in target language. This is probably a better fit for an intermediate class, right? Maybe intermediate in terms of maybe a high school level 3 or 4 immersion, maybe third grade and up. Uh, it really just varies on the context. Thumbs up that you're seeing the team builder slide still. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. The next one will actually be done individually, and you're going to use the link that is a part of the slideshow. I'm going to quick add that link into the chat. If you would please put in your individual responses, please. And I'm actually going to show you a little bit as you rank those summertime activities. And it looks like we're going to rank traveling for summer, taking pictures, spending time with family and friends, relaxing, and exercise and fitness, where those rank. So take a minute to do that. And then while those come in, I'm going to kind of share with you about how we can do these in a contextualized way and really sneak in some fun grammar components without it having to be explicit grammar instruction. That is probably, I think, maybe one of the trickiest pieces to language teaching according to the core 6 practices from ACTFL. is to contextualize grammar and not have it be direct, explicit English instruction. So I should be seeing those responses come through here. Maybe people are just being extra careful about what they choose to rank in summer. There's no judgment here, by the way, on what you rank. No judgment, judgment-free zone. Here they come in. So you'll notice here on the Google form that I'm using, it looks like half and half so far, relaxing and traveling, which is fabulous. Second activity, spending time with friends. Oh, it looks like it's into thirds now. So you'll see these data as they come in and populate, you'll see those graphs change, which is nice. Third favorite activity, half of you are saying spending time with friends and family. Don't worry, I won't tell your family that you ranked them third. The secret is safe. And it looks like split 50-50 between taking pictures and exercising fitness. Cool. So you'll see those shift in real time, which is what I'm really enjoying about this. And it's really not about the tool here, which is sometimes counterintuitive in an ed tech class. Sometimes people say, "Well, I'm really not feeling, confident with every single click within a Google form. I've never made a Google form." Maybe some of you are thinking that's fine. But what can we do how can we sneak this in terms of contextualizing this for grammar use? So now asking people to rank those using that link. We can do the similar task here, but having students rank their list. And then the next guess here is to guess what the entire class might do. So now that you've had a chance to look at that, you could say, scanning this class, I think the most popular answer for the top one and the bottom will be this and this. And that actually guessing, predicting is one of those highly ranked tasks by John Hattie, which we'll look at later on in the course when he talks about effective uses of prediction strategies. And we can do that by just creating and sharing out a Google link and seeing what those data play out with just a simple review at the end of a unit about some key vocabulary, maybe. Asking some basic yes or no questions, building up to things like, do you think that more students will like taking pictures or more students will like exercising? And then turning that into just a quick, simple comparison or superlative activity. And as a friendly reminder, we can do something similar here. If I'm describing the second favorite activity from this list, and I say here on the second favorite activity, do more students prefer spending time with friends or family or with exercising? And you would respond with, of course, spending time with friends and family based on the data. So that's fun to be able to contextualize that in a really it's student choice and voice, right? Students are sharing their preference, and then now you can turn that into a lesson in real time, which is helpful. You can also leverage singleton answers, right? So you can explore those answers that are maybe not a singleton click of rank choice, and you can ask some individual responses like, hey, what's an activity that's not yet listed? And now you're finding out that you have a cook or a baker from your class. What does this say about us? Now we can kind of take those to the larger scale of class and describe ourselves as maybe adventurous, active, or chill based on the data that we see that come out in real time. So then my question back to you is, how do you see this playing out in your own classroom? Would you do this as like ranking breakfast foods? Would you talk about maybe regional sports for a city, region, or country that where your target language is spoken? How would that play out? So I want to give you 30 seconds of think time before we add an idea into the chat about how you might just a quick little blurb, like what would be the topic? Would it be sports and pastimes that you're maybe thinking ahead to? You're going to teach a specific course in fall. How would that play out? How would you have kids rank those? Would you have them be individual or would you have them negotiated as a group? That nice interpersonal discussion in target language, great opportunity for kids to be able to connect intentionally in target language. So just add in the chat, what would be the topic that you would explore with students? Ours happened to be summertime activities on that last one, and reasons that you travel on the first one. And then would you have it be group, negotiated as a group? There's intentional use there between collaboration as a team and having to do that individually. Please add that idea into the chat. How would you use this in your own classroom? While you do that, I want to unpack a little bit. One of the readings that we're going to see in session one, and session one doesn't start officially until July. There is some pre-reading that will be assigned that's connected to the Liz Kolb text. Liz Kolb wrote Learning First, Technology Second. It's published by ISTE. ISTE is like the national umbrella. It's like the ACTFL of ed tech. It's the International Society on Technology and Education. She is a pillar writer in that organization and does a really nice job of unpacking a triple E framework that we'll explore together. Another framework outside of Liz Kolb, and she summarizes this in chapter one, is called TPAC. And you're going to see this T, C, and P that are listed here. This is another conceptual framework that was designed by Mishra and Keller, two writers out of Michigan State. They built on the work of Lee Schulman in 1986. Lee Schulman wrote in 86 in the teacher's handbook that teachers need to be experts in their content area. That makes sense. And they have to be able to deliver that content pedagogically. And then Mishra and Keller added the T here in 2006, saying that there's this sweet spot interplay between technology, content, and pedagogy. And my invitation to you, and I think that you'll see this play out in Liz Kolb's book, along with the Miller text, is that we want to start with pedagogy. We want to talk about what you value pedagogically. Are you aiming for specific modes of communication in your classroom? Are you anchoring into Core 6 practices like getting more feedback to students or designing communicative activities, for example? So that's kind of how that unpacks. I want to take those last two activities and kind of contextualize that for you within this framework that we'll uncover together as a part of the reading. One of the resources that I'll share with you is called the Tech Innovation Resources out of Blaine High School. This actually came out of the work right when we got into distance learning, and you're going to see resources that are like fresh, and you'll see ideas that date back to 2020 into this. But I wanted to highlight that one of the resources that we look at here, for example, is to do student surveys. And it doesn't matter if you do that student survey in Google Drive, in SurveyMonkey, in Mentimeter, in fill in the blank tool. It's not about the tool. It's about your task with students using that tool. And if you're feeling comfortable and students have access and the district feels confident with you using that tool because of student data privacy rules, then you'll find those. One of those ideas that you'll see as a part of that resource list also is something that I call A/B activity, video A/B activity. And I'm going to add a screenshot once again to the chat. This is one of the communicative tasks that we're going to do together in breakout rooms as pairs. And I'm going to add that screenshot so that you're feeling confident about what on earth are we even doing. There's that screenshot right there. You're going to be in groups of either 2 or 3. At least one of you is going to be in A, and the other person is going to be in B. If you happen to be in groups with people whose target language is the same, feel free to do this in target language. This is an activity that can be done as early as novice level. It can also be done in intermediate. If you're person A, you're going to follow your set of 3 instructions. You're going to watch that video and you're going to choose 5 keywords. Your job is to tell to person B what happens in this video. And at the end, we're going to get a pulse of the learning about what was described, not from person A, but from person B. Because person B is going to take about a 5-minute break, let person A watch the video. So you're not going to be watching the video right away. You're going to let person A describe what happened in the video, and we're not going to write about this. This isn't a writing task. And then prepare to share at least one chunk about the video. This is a great icebreaker for intermediate language learning. It is a chance for people who are nervous Nellies to communicate, to give them a chance to share something with purpose. And maybe there's even like humor in the video, or maybe it's a really touching video that has meaning to them. Questions about the tasks before we get you into groups. I'm going to recreate groups and we're going to be closer to 3 breakout rooms. Perfect. So it looks like, let's do this. Everybody will have a pair, so that'll work perfectly. So you'll either do role A or role B. So that should be really easy. B's, you're going to take a break, come back in a few. I'm going to drop the link here shortly. But B's, you're not going to watch this video because you're going to hear about it. So A's, you're going to work with this one while the lightning and thunder hits Buffalo, Minnesota here. I hope that you don't have a severe thunderstorm warning where you are. We're going to get you 10 minutes to do this, 5 minutes to kind of watch as A's, and then to decide how you're going to share this, sequencing it. I'm going to talk a little bit about when we come back about how I would scaffold this with A's. Here I would excuse my B students out to like my neighbor's classroom because I know that Nancy's on prep and I can send my kids to Nancy and then invite them back when they're feeling ready. Questions for the good of the group before we circle back after breakout rooms. Stay on if you do have questions. I've got 5:02 Central. We'll come back at 5:12 after doing this activity. Here comes your invitation to your paired breakout rooms right now. And stay on if you have any questions too. I'm glad to do that. I'll add in the chat that we'll circle back at 5:12. Circling back at 5:12 Central. Did we miss invite? Sometimes this happens in Zoom. Luke and Sheree, did you not get an invite maybe?
I did. I just had a question.
Sure, what do you got?
The A is going to summarize the video in like 5 words.
Correct.
That's it.
And maybe like start sequencing. That's what I would ask of students in target language to do. And then maybe start like, this happened in a restaurant, or this is a scene from a soccer match. And then start like describing the sequence of this happened first, this happened next. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
You're basically
Thank you.
telling the story of a video.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Sweet. Good luck. All right, welcome back so quickly, everyone. I'm just jotting down some notes on alliteration names while you all are in your groups. It's fun to grab those.
One of the alliterations, the Lucky Luke, that's actually a French comic, Lukey Luke, about
Really
the westerns and stuff. Yeah.
fun.
hmm Yeah,
Very
that's
fun.
pretty cool. If you want to read some French comics, that's a pretty well-known one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Will you let me know if you're a B by typing in B as you come back from your breakout room so I know who I'm looking for? That will help. If you'll just add the letter B. And this is when I would ask my students in intermediate and level 4 in particular. This is a great icebreaker activity in level 4, and I'm listening for control of past tenses about what happened in the video. But really, it's just a chance to practice communication. I'm trained as a communicative language teacher from the 90s. I identify as a proficiency-oriented language teacher, one that anchors into the Core 6 practices, which we'll explore. But this is when I'm asking the bees, and I would ask my bees in class, I would just ask them, please stand up, and then they would sit down once they've shared one of the items with us. So I would just go to Luke first, and I would just say, Luke, according to the video, where do you get a sense of where we are in this video? Do you feel like we're at a drive-in movie? Do you feel like we're at a park? Where do you think the video happened based on what your neighbor described, since you're a bee? Can you unmute your, oh, perfect. Can you
Oh,
unmute?
I'm sorry. I wasn't sure if you were actually asking a question
I
or if you were
really
giving
am.
an example.
Sorry, Luke.
Okay, so could you say your question again?
No problem at all. I'm asking for like a scene. Where does this video happen based on the understanding that you have? Do you feel like this is at a mechanic shop or a sports card store? Where do you think this video happens?
This video occurs in a classroom.
Perfect. And Lee, what would you add to that about like if we're in a classroom, who are some of the characters that we meet as a part of this?
Lee, right?
Please, yes.
Oh, here the must be students.
Perfect. So we're gonna see
Student and
students
teacher.
and we're gonna see a teacher. Perfect. Uh Chan, why don't I go to you next? What is one thing that happens at what you perceive as the beginning of the video? Like what's something that happens at the beginning of the video?
um, a boy writing a letter to a girl
Okay.
in class.
Oh, ooh, and then this is when the class is like, ooh, like tell me more, right? And
Yeah.
then now we kind of like scaffold the sequence of retelling the story based on one simple, quick 30-second announcement in target language. Again, I would do this all in L2, so my announcement would be done in Spanish. This would be a resource that's geared toward L1 speakers. And I have two resources to share too for Spanish speakers also. But again, I just want to kind of I want to set the scene a little bit to show you that. Why don't I pull up the video so we can actually just watch it together? I'm going to make sure that I'm sharing screen and sound. Thumbs up that you're seeing a YouTube. Perfect.
A noun is a person, place, or thing. A verb is an action word. Max, something to share with the class?
Oh, Max.
Come on. Thank you. How tired I am of this unbearable distance between us. How I long for the toll of the recess bell. Have you forgotten me? Grown mindless of me? Tell me I am not riding into an abyss or that is what will become of my heart.
Fun little misty-eyed moment for a teacher, especially this time of year, which is always appreciated. If you were to boil this video down to one word, what would you describe this video as being about? If I were to ask you, this is a commercial about what? Can you just add that into the chat, please? What is this? What is if you were to tell somebody at the bus stop as you're waiting for your line to come in, what would you tell them it's about? This is a video about what? You can just add that in. Fun. Fabulous. And this is when we can start like generating a theme with a class in L2. So now if you were to ask that question, what is this video about? It's about reading. It's about inspiration. It's about creativity. All of those answers are correct. And that's maybe one of the tricky parts of teaching language is sometimes people feel like they want to have one correct answer when it's great if students share a variety of answers, especially that lean into the theme of that video. Theme is tough to teach, but if we just boil it down with a simple scaffolding activity, and by the way, if my internet decides to go out, it's because of this weather, just as kind of a heads up. I hope the weather's good where you are. So this is kind of like the scaffold. This is how we build into this activity. We ask students in group or in person A to watch it together. So I would have all the A's stay with me. I would send the B's out to that resource area or to a colleague's room. And I would just watch it with them. And I would say, hey, everybody, what are 5 key words that we already know? And if there are words that we definitely know are going to be tricky, maybe we just write down the English translation to one of them. And we would just kind of start retelling what happened from start to finish. Where are we? We're in a classroom, just like you identified really quickly. Who are key people? Who are 2 to 3 key people? It could be a name of somebody, it could be a description of them. And now you start sequencing in order with one really easy to use YouTube link in L2. And this is my invitation to you, is sometime tonight to just go search in L2. I grabbed this by searching cute commercial. I think I did the same thing in L2 with my 2 examples that I use in Spanish. Yeah, it was cute commercial and it was um, funny commercial. And you're going to want to sift through them, make sure that they're appropriate for your audience. But really quick way to do this, and I would do this once as an AB, and then I would invert it so that now your A's are B's and your B's are A's. And this would do this activity lasts about 30 minutes to do both ways of viewing it, building up the A's and scaffold them to build them up so they're feeling confident. And what I love so much about it, this is an activity that really engages students in 3 modes of communication. Interpretive with an L1 resource, interpersonal communication to describe what happened, there's negotiation and meeting, and then B's are telling it to the instructor, the facilitator, this is what happened. So now this is presentational mode. Also, that's why I love this activity so much. Okay. I was hoping to get to one more activity, but I'm going to keep to that 5:30 time frame with you all. We'll have to take a peek at an activity called How Was Your Week later. I want to go through a little bit about more about the agenda. We'll get to that later. Core 6 practices of ACTFL. It's the 3rd text in the syllabus. It's linked. You don't have to buy it. But it's something that you're going to want to explore more You're going to hear me reference them a lot. We're going to get into, are there any questions for the good of the group on the syllabus? As I frantically look for my Moodle link that's up, will you let me know if you have, it is a bare bones Moodle course right now, and I'll share a little bit more in the sign off about why that is the case.
So I was looking at the required add-ons. I think I'm looking at the right syllabus.
Okay,
Yep, I see your name. Click on there. Okay.
perfect.
Um, it says required add-ons, extensions, so
Yes.
home hat, all those things. Okay.
Yep. So this is,
So
I'll walk you through how to add on Brisk. This is a independent site. Diff is an app where we can really squeeze a lot out of the sponge out of a specific resource. This and every time that you're assigned a task like this, that you're always going to find a handout with an embedded video to be able to explore these resources. So I'm not just going to kind of like leave you high and dry.
okay.
So this is like the link to online voice recorder. But again, this is like a really intuitive resource where I'm just clicking on the recording and now it's going to save to my downloads, which is really friendly for Chromebooks in addition to laptops also. So there's always going to be support. And one of the pieces that you're going to see in the course is called FAQ, frequently asked questions. Anytime that you have a question, the truth is if you're having the question, my guess is that there are others in the class that are having the same question. Like, I wonder how we're supposed to do that. And I'm glad to clarify. But I usually offer both a handout and an instructional video, which is something that our staff here at Blaine High School count on when I do go through those. One piece I want to walk you through, I'm going to do this in a little bit different order than maybe I had set up this afternoon. A checklist. Some of you are already into the checklist. Two of you already have two of the tasks done already, thanks to the folks who are doing this. I added one more task to this. This is called week P, and when I say week P, I mean everything preliminary, everything that I'm asking you to do prior to 7/7. This used to be a Tuesday course in the summertime, and it's just changed to a Monday course. And that means that we just need to prepare for that interview with Leslie Gran that will happen on a Monday instead of a Tuesday. Because what I like to do is to use the Monday of an agenda of week one to prepare for the interview on Tuesday. We just don't have the option to do that. So part of the work that you're going to do is explore the bio content of Leslie Gran, an all-star pillar, author, presenter, workshop facilitator for ACTFL. She's an ACTFL, former ACTFL board member, and just a gem. And she's going to join us for 15 minutes. They usually give us more time, but when I ask for presenters to share their time with us, I always ask for 15 minutes. So we'll definitely have that. Thanks for the folks who have already done the online inventory. That just gives me like a pulse of where you're at. That link does live in Moodle, and you'll just see it as like a checklist, a week P checklist. And those tasks are just for you to, yep, I already watched the welcome video. I already ordered my books. You don't have to share this with me. It's just more of like a chance for you to kind of keep track of what you have done and haven't done between now and 7/7. I'll send reminders as we get closer to July, but this is the work that I'm asking for you to uncover between now and then. And then I just want to go through a quick little sign off about how cooking and teaching languages with the help of learning technologies are rather similar. The only reason I'm on Instagram is to share recipes, things that I cook, and connect with other cooks to find out what the other dads are cooking, in particular the dads. There is actually a small set of dads that share about their cooking, but I like recipes from moms and grandmas also. It just happens to be that I especially like to seek out what the other dads are making for their families. And I used to think that when my mom was teaching both me and my brother to cook, especially like in our early teens, I used to think that she would cook and bake with us for the food. I used to think that it was because of the food, because I would call her in college, and I still ask about recipes too, that would remind me of home, or that would kind of especially make me miss home. A thumbs up that you're still seeing the slide deck too, of the screenshots of the dishes. Thank you. So these are the dishes that I especially enjoy making, and my invitation to you is to think instead about just maybe honing in on three recipes. And by three recipes, I really mean three lessons. What are three lessons that you want to take to the next level? What's one that you're planning to teach in fall that maybe you haven't had a chance to look at closer? I would invite you to really pick during the lessons, during the assignments for this, maybe hone in on one theme. I remember being frightened to teach human rights in upper division in level 4 Spanish in a college in the schools course. And you know what? I made it through. And maybe this is something that you're thinking ahead to fall to a course that you've never taught. But my invitation to you is to think about three that you can take to the next level. And what I actually found out in my 40s is that my mom, who's in the sweatshirt, in red sweatshirt up top, top center, is that my mom taught us to cook not for the food, but for the people around the table, for the loved ones that you get to check in with. Right when I watch my son make pasta with his girlfriend as a date, or when I watch Molly's eyes light up with the pasta in the bottom center, my goodness, how does that not bring you joy? That's really what it's about. It's about the people. And I used to think that I taught Spanish for the words. And I actually realized, thinking back on my time in Spain as an exchange student, that it really was about the people. I came back to that idea of buena gente and wanting to go back to Spain, not because of food, not because of words, not because of literature, but it was about the people. And I'm betting that you feel very similarly in terms of why you feel maybe called to teach language. I see my vocation as much more than a job, more than a profession. I feel called to teach language and to coach teachers to leverage learning technologies is like my jam. It's what I really enjoy doing the most. So bring those ingredients, bring those recipes that you want to take to the next level as a result. Our next session when we are together is July 7th, same time, so 4:30 to, it's a 2-hour class then, so it's 4:30 to 6:30 Central. I look forward to seeing you again. Stay on the line if you have questions, but everything that you're going to want to uncover between now and then is all a part of the week P. P is for like preliminary. It's all as a part of that checklist. What you might see added to Moodle between now and then is all of the assignments. You might see the pillar assignments, things like the social media assignment and reflection. That's a chance for you to like explore, to find out. That's not me like officially assigning it. It's me saying, hey, if you have time in June to look at it and maybe crank it out, go ahead and do it. And based on some of the personalities that I'm already seeing, I suspect some of you are going to take that opportunity. I'm going to work my tail off to get as much onto Moodle as possible. I'm just going to share with you up front that my parents are aging and my parents' health is not good right now. And I love teaching this course. And I feel like I'm wrapping up the end of a school year. I'm starting, one of my favorite things is AMLA 604 at Concordia. And I'm also caring for parents who are not in good health. So I'm just going to ask for your patience in advance. If I'm not within 24 hours within email, I had an appointment today with my dad today at 1:45 this afternoon. I have a full day with him tomorrow. It's my last week of school at Blaine High School, and I just want to be upfront about that. That I'm working hard. So don't hesitate to reach out and don't hesitate to call or text either. I know that sometimes feels different between you and a facilitator of learning, but it might be the quickest way to get an answer. So don't hesitate. Thanks for joining. Stay on if you have any questions, and I hope the weather is better than what it is here. Although I don't mind the rain, as long as the lightning doesn't hit trees and houses. So have a great night, everybody. Stay on if you have questions, and wishing everybody a great finish to their school year if they're still in session with their students. Thanks again. And we'll be in touch on 7/7 the next time that we have synchronous class. Any questions for the good of the group?
Oh,
Otherwise, have an awesome night.
I don't have a question for the group, but I want to share something with you.
Yes, please do, Chan. Go ahead if you're feeling ready.
But if somebody has a question, they can go first.
I had a couple
You're,
questions.
you're doing so nice. You're doing the Minnesota nice thing so nicely.
First, I want to make sure I got the right book. And when
Yes.
I looked up the Learning First, Technology Second, this is what it came
Yes.
up with. So I hope
That's
it's
the one. That's
Okay.
the one.
I wasn't sure. It's been a while since I've had to get textbooks.
No worries.
And then with those hashtags, is there like a particular place
Good
to do
question.
those? Like
So
on
it was more,
Twitter?
yeah, those are more like recommendations of things to consider. So like things that maybe interest you the most to just pick 1 to 3 to be exploring. Doesn't have to be a specific platform either. I will
Okay.
say that I'm enjoying Blue Sky app right now. Um, and it is still feeling new and fresh in terms of other platforms that I've explored prior. So if there's like a lens that you look through in particular, like if you're a middle school teacher in particular, maybe focusing your energy on those. It's
Mhm.
more just about growing your professional learning network more than anything.
Okay. I have, with encouragement from my colleague, I've joined different like world language teacher Facebook groups. So,
Fabulous.
okay, cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Next question. Who's got the Chan, why don't you go next?
Oh, I don't have a question, so I'm gonna go last if you guys don't mind. I'm
All
serious.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
I just have to
Sharia,
say
any
something
questions at all?
I do.
Okay, thanks for joining tonight. It was so nice to meet you. And do I have your alliteration? Maybe that's the other question. Do I have everybody's alliteration?
Daryl, I had a quick question.
Yeah, what do you got, Luke?
So I will not be in class on not after the first one, but the second one.
Yep.
I will be in Honduras, and I'm going to try to be in class, but because we both know that while we're traveling in Latin America, that Wi-Fi is spotty as hell.
Yep. Yep.
I just wanted to follow up and let you know beforehand, and that
Thank
I'll
you.
do any work that I need to do. So if there's anything apart from what is already in the syllabus, I will email you and ask for a follow-up.
Perfect. I appreciate the heads up. You'll find a recording of the session in class, and then there'll be like specific tasks like, going through those activities like we did tonight. There'll be specific instructions.
Perfect. Thank you. I
Y buen
appreciate it.
viaje a Honduras.
Gracias.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. Same thing with Luke. I'm gonna be out of the country also,
Yep.
and so I'm gonna um do my best to get out all my assignments
Perfect.
in. But
Perfect.
yeah, I'm hoping that I don't have any trouble logging in
Yep.
wherever I am, and so just to give you a heads up, yeah,
I appreciate it.
yeah. So
It's a world language group. I get it that people travel, so don't feel like you have to apologize, people. Yep.
it's good to know.
Sweet.
Okay.
Anybody else? Caitlin,
Yeah.
canning, Caitlin. Now I'm curious to know what you can, Caitlin. Are you like the pickles queen? Are you like roasting beets and pickling them? What are you doing?
I haven't pickled, but mostly vegetables, potatoes, corn, carrots, green beans, salsas. We also like raise our own chicken, so I've canned chicken before, which some people
Very
are really turned off by, but it's so handy just to have that meat ready to go to throw into soups and stuff. So
bet.
yeah. So I wanted to echo Sharia's question about those add-ons and anticipating any issues with
Yep.
those, or if it should be pretty
Yep, it's going to be
easy.
pretty I'm going to use tools that are intuitive, and anytime that I ask you to do something, I'm going to provide a handout and a video tutorial. And you can ask specific questions too, like well, for example, if I ask for a video reflection and I offer a suggestion on a tool, then feel free to ask follow-up questions too once it's assigned. But I don't want people to like panic about tools at this point on June 2nd. Okay? Part of my job is to make sure that the integration of those tools is seamless. So I just want you to trust me too. All right, next question. You're also polite and patient. I appreciate that. But who's next? Who's next? Lee, you got a question?
Let's just send you a comment through the chat and then
Thank you.
yeah. So we already have a conversation through the email earlier. So thank you for the responding.
Yes,
Looking
of
forward
course.
to be in the class. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I
See you.
appreciate it.
Yeah. See you in the 7th.
Oh, perfect. Take
Right.
care.
Bye.
Sharia Chan, rather, any other questions before we sign off?
No, I was just staying on to see what other people had questions about in
Okay.
case, it didn't, hit me, and maybe whatever they're asking I might need also. And so,
Okay.
but
Sounds
yeah,
good.
thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see
I'm
you on
looking
the
forward to an awesome summer.
same. It's
And I
it's
think
gonna be
I think
it's gonna be a very different summer because I haven't been back in school for like over 30 years, and so it's something, yeah. It'll be hard to get used to.
you'll do great. You'll do great. You can always reach out with questions by email, call, or text, okay?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna leave. Thank you. Have a good
Perfect. Take care, everybody. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you. Bye. I was hanging on just to see if other people had questions too. That
No
might
worries.
apply to me. So, all right. See ya.
See ya. Sweet.